5192 to send me a text. If you're watching the show today at AlanCoxShow.com, you can thank Pathu Mapadan for helping out in the video department. And I'll have another $1,000 for you in about 8 minutes. 4:30 is the next keyword you're going to get to go fund to yourself. Second to last chance to do that today. 5:30 will be your last one. And then tomorrow morning, 9:30, I think, with Rover is the first one that you get for the day. Guardians are in Chicago tonight to play the White Sox. That is an 8:10 first pitch. 7:40 or thereabouts is when that pregame will begin here on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app. First of three. A couple of night games and then an afternooner on Wednesday. And they go off to do three against the Twins. And they're back here at home next week to play the beleaguered Cincinnati Reds. And then they'll go right into playing the beleaguered Detroit Tigers. So if they play their cards right, they're going to have a nice long stretch of kicking other teams' asses in there. But we'll see. For people who like to listen to the show on the app, you'll see that little red talkback. They call it the talkback button. It's a little red button that has a microphone on it, and people can leave us messages there.
Hey, Mary, I just want to say that as long as you keep communications open with this guy, you should be fine. Holidays are dictated by the advertisements. They make us feel a certain way just for us to spend money, okay? When dealing with stepkids, you just got to kind of let the kid dictate the relationship you have with them. Younger age is fine. When they get a little older, it could be a little messier. Bye.
So he's blaming advertisements.
Yeah, thanks, Hallmark.
Is that helpful to you?
Yes. No, it's fine. I appreciate the call.
Thank you, sir. But
no, thank you.
Take the sentiment in which it was given.
I appreciate it.
But what are you going to do? Advertisements.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. It's everyone's fault.
And no one's. And no one's.
It's everyone's and no one's fault. That's right.
Mary, you got to lean more into the mindset you have when you say nothing matters.
Nothing matters. Everybody's going to die alone.
There you go. But you got to believe it. You can't just say it. You got to mean it.
Sometimes.
You got to mean it.
Isn't that comforting, though?
It makes it so much better.
To believe it sometimes?
No, all the time. Once you believe it all the time.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm not to the full nothing matters yet. I'll get there. Don't worry. You guys will break me down.
You got to break yourself down.
Life will keep kicking my butt.
But if you believe that nothing matters, then you have to believe that everything matters, Mary. Wow.
Look at that.
And people do die alone. Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
Yep.
Some of them deserve it.
There are some people who deserve to die alone.
Different than dying alone and dying lonely. I think he's talking about people who die
I mean,
lonely.
we all die alone.
Yeah.
Some people will die lonely.
Yeah.
Even if you're surrounded by family and friends, you're the only one not walking out of that room. So,
right.
Whatever it is.
If you do it the way I'm planning.
Breaking everybody's legs before you go out?
You're all coming with me.
Wow, really?
No, I don't want to do that.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, there's those people that die and they're lonely and they're alone and they deserve it. They earned it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because in your mind, they've burned every possible bridge.
Yes,
is that what it
yes.
is? But that's also by their own design, too. So that might be the long con to get them.
But I don't think that's what they wanted.
Where
though.
they're fine. Well, I mean, it's hard to tell what somebody wants, but you can certainly judge them by their actions. And if they burn all their bridges, they can't at the end be like, what happened? I mean,
where's everybody?
Yeah. It's the long con. They go, at the end of this, I'm not going to have anybody around me.
Right.
And then I'll jump off a bridge or something. I don't know. I was reading an article about a thing that's being funded overseas. British Alan might know something about this. This is being funded in London by the NHS, the National Health Service. Federal funding. Suicidal comedians are nothing new. They just usually aren't funded. And this is a stand-up comedy course that's being funded for men at risk of suicide.
So just the comedy course?
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
I was like...
Anyone who wants to be a comic?
Yeah.
I wasn't exactly in the brightest times when I started doing comedy.
Nobody
and I feel
is.
like a lot of people that get into comedy, there's usually... It's because there's a darkness there.
Like, I don't feel joy. Maybe I can make other people happy.
I guess. I never cottoned to that, really. I mean, I just wanted to tell jokes. I just liked telling jokes.
Yeah.
Well, I like
But obviously, there's no shortage of people that are up there trying to do something, fill some hole, I guess.
It wasn't that I was had all this darkness from other things, and I'm like, well, if I can do this, I feel like I will at least be doing the thing that I want to do. And that's what it was for me. I needed to go in a direction that was 100% my choice and on me whether or not I was going to keep doing it and keep going for it, rather than, go to college or do anything that I didn't really have any interest in. So that's why I was in that dark place, just getting sent home from the Philippines, and was like, if I do this, I can control things, and I am doing something that I actually am passionate about.
My thoughts were just, I wonder if I can make strangers laugh. Because I'd grown up making my family laugh. I'd grown up making my friends laugh. Can I make people who don't know me laugh? It was as simple as that.
Mine came from an egotistical place where I have seen other stand-ups and been like, I'm funnier than they are. And then that was like,
well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, nobody's doing it because they're a wallflower.
Right.
I mean, but
mine was like, if this guy can do it, I can definitely do it. And then I just did it. I was like, all right, well, let's do it then.
So you were trying to show other people?
No, myself. Because the
guy
guy that I
do it.
saw on TV is never going to know that I
Oh,
did.
on television,
on
not in a
television,
club.
At a club, whatever.
I see.
But they're never going to know that I did stand up from sitting in the audience. The comic
Right.
that I saw in 2011 in a comedy club that's closed now is never going to know that I did stand up.
But don't you end up getting really, really discouraged if you pit yourself against other people?
No.
You don't?
I've told the story.
Because there's going to be all kinds of people that are going to either temporarily or otherwise are going to get it ahead of you. And
Well,
you're going to
yeah.
go, why? What? That guy sucks or she sucks or whatever.
I mean, now I don't do that anymore, but that fueled my first few years of stand-up. I've told
I
you
see.
guys that 100 times I thought I was going to be famous in 6 months.
No, I understand.
I was this big egomaniac.
Were you?
Yeah. It's falling off.
It was the greatest first 6 months of my life. It was great. Well, this woman in London says, I've taught comedy for 10 years. There's your first red flag. And her students have told her how much stronger and more resilient it made them. That part I can see, because when they ask people to list, their worst fears, speaking in public is at the very top. And so she has a government-funded comedy class for men who are considered a high suicide risk. So she wants them to kill, just not themselves.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of this.
And if that's an American class or other people.
Or other people, that's right. I didn't kill anyone else. I murdered the audience,
Mass
but
joking, not mass shooting.
in a good way. Yeah. So that's kind of a wild development.
I would teach a government-funded comedy class.
And how much of a risk of suicide do you have to be to get into the class? So there's a finite number of seats.
I don't see any scars.
Right.
There's no notes.
You haven't posted
You
anything
haven't even-
vague.
Yeah, you don't. You got a full bottle of pills over there. You're not this. You go to the other class. This is the suicide class.
I mean, imagine you're genuinely suicidal, but you don't make the cut for the class. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna. There's gonna be somebody's blood on this girl's hands.
First time I tried to go to rehab, they told me I couldn't go.
Why is that?
Because I had.
They told you no.
They were like, you can.
You tried to go to rehab, and they said no.
I tried to
no.
check. Yes, I didn't realize what you were doing.
Mary's like, is Alan having a stroke? Why is he doing?
No, I tried to check myself in, and they said no, that they didn't have enough beds for someone who didn't have a problem.
We're not wasting our good counseling
Pretty
on
much,
you.
yeah, because I had driven myself there. I wasn't currently drunk or high, and
Yeah.
all my vitals were normal.
Because they see like awful cases.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, you're not making the grade. Come back when you're in much worse shape.
Well, the lady basically made it sound like if you go get hammered, we'll admit you. But
Right.
because you drove yourself here and all your vitals are fine, I can't let you in.
because you didn't crash
You didn't take
through
that
the
as a
lobby.
challenge?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. That was when I was 22, and then
But I
for the
mean,
next 9 years.
But I mean, like, you didn't say, like, I'll go get drunk, I'll be right back.
No, I took it as, well, this professional doesn't think I have a problem, so I must not.
It's not like what you see in a Tyler Perry movie where they have a moment of realization. You're like, you know what? I want to follow Jesus.
Yeah.
An epiphany.
And they walk in. They walk into the rehab, and then they come out, and then all the cheerful music starts.
Yeah, I know.
Does it always go to Jesus in the Medea movies?
Oh yeah,
Does it always come
absolutely.
back to Jesus? Yeah.
It's always God.
Yeah, the
Just
Tyler
like
Perry
that.
movies are very, very religious.
Are they
that was
really?
like the one, and I still need to watch this one. But the
The AIDS movie.
AIDS movie, he gets AIDS because he's having sex out of wedlock, right?
It's
the
Tyler
whole-
Perry,
Yeah.
Confessions of a Marriage Counselor.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian's in it. And the mom is like, this man's going to drag you straight to hell. And she's like, well, I'm going to have fun getting there because she's cheating on her husband. And then the guy that she's cheating on her husband with, AIDS.
Gives her AIDS.
Wow.
I don't know why it's funny,
Well,
but it's
gave her HIV.
Yeah.
gave her HIV, yeah.
Why did I think Tyler Perry was an atheist?
Far
That makes
from it.
no sense. I
he
mean,
might very well be. He
That's
just
not the movies
knows
he makes. Yeah.
that God makes him money.
yeah, but I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's making those kinds of
God
movies
makes
if,
money.
if they don't believe it somewhere.
Oh, I think anybody that is really benefiting, like really like using God to make money, I don't think they really are that strong of believers. That's just my theory.
Okay. Let me give you some money here. If you want to get yourself $1,000 right now is going to be your opportunity to do it. So listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword cash at WMMS.com. That's cash. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Alan.
How are you?
Hey, so I wanted to circle back to this whole porn idea that watching too much porn lowers your sex drive in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because men, I mean, even myself, will watch porn online and they can see whatever, whenever they want, and when they get to the bedroom, it's like either they're afraid to ask their wife or girlfriend to do this out of embarrassment, or the wife or girlfriend just flat out doesn't want to do it, and that kind of makes them a little disappointed.
Well, I also think that I don't know if this huge study they did allowed for they probably didn't study couples that watch porn together, because that would be a variable that probably doesn't have a whole lot of negative effects. If you kind of both go, well, I don't like this, let's find something we can both watch, and then yeah. But it's if the guys are doing it like shamefully, that's going to have a whole lot of other things with it. But what if you're a married guy, Eric?
20 years.
What if have you experienced this where you're like, oh, honey, this is what I like, but she's like, no, not, huh?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, some people are down for whatever.
Occasionally, I'll get the courage to tell my wife, hey, I'd like to try this, and she'll just give me this weird look like, what the F did you just say?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just leave it alone for a few months, and then I tiptoe around it again later. And sometimes
we're talking about, Eric, we're talking about butt stuff, aren't we?
No.
But if your wife came to you and said, all right, you first, you'd probably be just as hesitant to agree to it.
I think I'd be a little bit more inclined to agree to it. I like to think I'm an adventurous person. I'll try anything once.
I see. So you're willing to play
almost anything.
You're willing to play sexual chicken with her and see who blinks
Who
first.
holds first? Yep.
Yeah.
Sure am.
All right. Well, good luck out there, Eric. You're doing the Lord's work.
All right, Alan.
All right. Thank you, pal. There's Eric out in. Well, I won't say where he is because I don't want to out him.
Yeah, I don't
His
blow
wife
this
might
up.
get upset. But it's always guys who you always know they're talking about butt stuff when they go to their wife and their wife goes, "What the hell are you talking about?" Which to me seems like something you should have figured out dating,
Yeah.
not married, right? If you've gotten all the way to 20 years married and your wife shoots that down, it's never,
gonna happen.
ever going to
Right.
happen. It was never going to happen. Some people are really into that. I couldn't care less about that. But some people are really into it.
I tend to find
I think
more
people just
women
want the
want
option.
it. Yeah, like there's women that are really into it, and they're like, "Hey, can you just?" I'm like, "If it's what you want, your wish is my command. I will get in there."
Could you do this? Yes, I could do that.
Just
I
telling you, like
always
from my
thought-
experience, there's girls that like it, and like I'm not bringing it up.
Right.
They're
I
just
always
like,
thought,
get in there.
and this is me 100% projecting my own opinions onto everybody's situation. I've never done that.
That's what you do.
I know. I always thought that was women wanting guys to think that they're kinky and hot, that no woman actually enjoyed it. They just wanted to be perceived as like sexy and kinky.
There are girls who like it.
I can't imagine. It does not feel good. It doesn't. It does not feel good.
It depends on how often you do it.
I guess that's true too. You can get used to anything,
But also, I'm always fascinated by why that's the go-to, because there are a lot of things you can do on the kink scale.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because it's right there. I don't know.
He's been staring at me this whole time.
This whole time. Yeah. And you're saying no, but some guys really, man, they go to the mat for that. Mm-hmm. And they keep getting turned down.
I had a guy,
and they aren't dissuaded. If they were that ambitious about other things in their lives, and maybe they are, what do I know? But I mean, some of these guys, boy, they will end up hectoring their woman over the span of years until she finally either goes, if you ask me again, I'm calling a lawyer, or it's fine.
I will divorce you.
Fine, let's,
I had a guy ask me to do that on the first date. And we went on a double date. It wasn't even just me and him. We went out, me and him and his friend and my friend. The four of us went out for drinks. And then we went back they were roommates. We went back to their place and went to respective bedrooms and making out and stuff. And he asked for that day one. I had known him like 6 hours. I was like, are you out of your mind?
He wanted to know where your meter was.
I said, yes, I said no.
You should have called the poliase.
I'm just saying.
Slapping sounds.
He wanted to know where your meter was. There's no... It's indelicate, it's indiscreet, it certainly might seem socially unacceptable. There's nothing wrong with asking that first date.
Right out of the gate.
Asking, not going, oh, come on. Asking, how about this? And you go, no, and he goes, okay.
We didn't hook up at all.
I know where, well.
Because I was like,
you're not going to that night.
We didn't.
So that was a deal breaker.
Yeah.
That was if this is date one.
This is never going to go away. That's how I took it. Where I was like, this is clearly what this guy is into, and this is not something I'm into. So
then even better to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
First date.
I just thought that was a bold choice.
It is.
You
got to be willing.
You bought me 3 drinks.
That's right.
And then you think this is where this is going.
I need at least 7 for that.
Right, 6 or 7.
My mom.
I've been drinking grasshoppers all night. That's nothing.
I told my mom about it. She's like, it's because he's Greek. And I was like,
Greek? Is your mom from the 1800s?
Yes,
yeah,
dude.
kind of.
Everything that she says is so stupid.
But also,
she's Greek.
Why would you tell your mom that?
Because the Santora girls tell each other everything.
We're working on boundaries, and this was a
blows
long
my
time ago.
mind.
This was like 10 years ago. This was a long time ago.
Still, the amount of stuff that I tell, like, my mom is blocked on all social media because I don't want her to hear anything I have to say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want her to know who I really am.
All she has to do is turn on the terrestrial radio station.
And she knows better.
Yeah.
She's learned her lesson.
Good for her.
But yeah, I've definitely had girls that have allowed it on the first night, and it was they're very into it, and they like it. I don't. It depends on the girl, honestly.
And if it depends on the girl, and if he has a tarp available.
Yeah.
Can you believe it that the guys I've dated, that is like the only option they give me?
You're a gay guy.
I know, that was the funny part.
Oh God.
That's the only option. That was his funny part, Mary.
But it's not though, because you also get
Oh, that's like how we say hello. That's not like a dating thing.
lettuce.
Yeah.
How we say hello. Would a handshake suffice?
No.
Suffice?
I know you like to think your sheets don't stink, but if you don't wash them, they really, really smell like poop, poop, poo, yeah.
That's why Bill's always in the laundry room. In his building.
Hey, gotta keep things clean.
Indeed. I got to take a break. If you listen on the iHeartRadio app, you can do that anywhere throughout North America. If you want to text the show for something, 35192, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. Rover's Morning Glory.
Jeffrey's taking the family to Rochester.